This is the we've been a couple of months since I've recorded something for the Wide World of Motorsports. It's been an interesting couple of months, but this is going to be a first of a new little experiment here. We're going to try a little bit of a new format and taking advantage of the situation we're all in here. Of course, using technology more and being more adaptable to things. I'm trying something new here, so gonna try it here with we got Joe and the Pepe on the line.
Yep. Hello.
We got you, bud. What's up?
Oh, just living the pandemic life, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of time, a lot of extra time, eh?
Yeah, it's it is what it is, but I mean, I'm excited for NASCAR to be back this weekend, man. That's what I'm.
Yes, as of the date of we're recording this is a couple of days before Darlington, and definitely excited for that. Definitely looking forward to some. We make some like buffalo chicken cheese dip for races, and looking forward to eating that again. It's been a couple of months. It's been 70 as of today. It's been 70 something days since the off season.
I think what was it, like 20? It's like 21 days short of a regular off season.
Yeah,
right?
that's
or something like that. That's amazing.
That is crazy, dude. I saw that number and I couldn't believe it. It was it's basically the length of a regular off season. Like, wow. Speaking of NASCAR, of course, just obviously the other motorsports series and stuff, they followed suit. It's almost like the NBA started the trend of everybody suspending their season.
Yeah, the NBA was the first domino. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't follow soccer or anything. I mean, I follow football. I mean, obviously football was in the off season. Soccer I don't really pay attention to. But yeah, the NBA was the leading domino in that effect of canceling sports temporarily.
Yeah, definitely something that I saw that was the first, like, it sucked because obviously we're basketball fans as well, and that was the first thing that was like, whoa, like NASCAR's going to follow shortly after, and it did.
My team had to be the the headline of everything, right? So
yeah,
a certain player from the Utah Jazz was scrutinized, but I mean, it is what it is.
Go back to school. Go back to school. Rudy Gobert, of course. But yeah, and then next thing you know, it's midway to the end of May now, and by the time the season starts, there's going to be like I forget what the number was. There's going to be a lot of races within like 2 weeks, 7 races or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like combined. Yeah, it's going to be like 7 races.
Yeah.
Or something like, and I think it's like 11 days or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. There's a comparison if you follow NASCAR on Fox, NASCAR on NBC. They compared the last time that in this span of days, it was back when Richard Petty was dominating, and like that was back in the 70s or whatever it was. So it's like it's a little bit of a culture shock, kind of, really, to be honest. Like it's kind of like a throwback deal, but not really.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, for this weekend specifically, it being like Darlington and has that old school feeling. I think a lot of people are going to like that. I think a lot of people might want some nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean that's a great track to go to. It really has good racing. It really does. I enjoy watching Darlington. I remember last year when they raced Darlington and Eric Jones won. I remember staying up all night to watch that race over at my brother's house, actually, in Texas, which is where I'm going to next weekend. But it's going to be good. Like it's just going to be. I think we're going to get a lot of. I think people just want something new. Like, we've been on social media. You go on Sports Center, like on Facebook. You go on whatever, and they're always showing old highlights. And I think there's going to be a lot of eyes glued to the TV because we're the first ones back. You know what I mean? that make sense?
And I'm going to be speaking with somebody. We're going to have that a little later on in this episode. I'm actually going to be speaking to somebody about how, as fans, we're kind of like, we want them not to screw it up. We actually want them to take it seriously enough where this could be something that other sports series could use as an example. And NASCAR could very well be, and it kind of almost reminds me of some of the things in the past. Like, they could be very, they could do something new. They could be someone to look up to for something with this pandemic.
I'm going to be like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing, but like, obviously as fans, we want it to succeed, and I don't see why it wouldn't. But there's always that chance where something could happen. You know how the media is. The media blows things out of proportion.
Yep, that's fair to say.
And if something minor would have happened, like, and somebody got sick with something, then that's it. Like, that's end of the ball game. Like, that's it. Like, this is a crucial thing because NASCAR showing their cards first before the other pro sports, and even though it's not a contact sport, so to speak, obviously they're in the cars and everything, but like,
they could be set up so that it could be like they could just stay in their motorhomes or wherever if they have to stay at a hotel or something, and they could just go right to the car.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly what I'm saying, but like in the same breath, they're not like basketball players. You got to defend your guy, right? You got to be on your guy. That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You're sweating on each other.
Yeah, I mean,
breathing on each other.
Breathing and spitting and who knows what else. You know, I mean, it's a whole different ball game with NASCAR because, I mean, you're gonna have your crew guys next to you. Like that's inevitable. That's gonna happen. But you're not gonna have your other opponent be physically on you like football or basketball or soccer. It's a different thing, and that's why I think NASCAR did a good job stepping up and doing it, because it just shows. I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Well, it's also the states that are making it available for them to do that as well, like Florida.
Exactly. I mean, that's the reason
Texas.
That's the reason why they canceled like Sonoma and.
Yes, they can't believe. Sonoma, Chicagoland, and it was what was the other one? Was
Richmond?
it Auto Club or it was Richmond?
Spring Richmond. They might be able to still do the fall date, I think, though.
And of course, there's other news about Chicagoland, anyways. But with with them potentially being turned into a subdivision, but that's that's almost like a whole other ballpark, a whole other story. Which isn't good though. This is happening. Like they get one race a year, and
that's like the best 1.5 mile.
Yeah, it's actually a sweet track too. I think
they had 2 dates there, I believe, and they went back down to 1. But it sucks because it's a new track too. It's a newer.
Not even 20 years old, I don't think.
No, like the first race they went there was 2001. So
basically 20 years old. But yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also, I'm going to speak to someone else as well later on in this episode about I'm going to speak to a track organizer here in Ontario in Canada. I'm going to speak with Alex Nagy, and we're going to talk about he owns Jukasa, he runs Jukasa, and we're going to talk about, I'd like to also hear from not only that, the track owners, but the meet. I want to hear what everybody has to say when they're being impacted by this, because we don't know everything, and this is almost like the first time we're going through this, and I think a lot of communication has been misportrayed or something like that. It hasn't been directly told or something in the media. You don't hear the track organizers the track organizers. You don't hear the people in the media or even you don't hear from the drivers necessarily right now. So it'd be interesting to hear.
It's a trickle-down type problem, so to speak. So it affects everybody.
And obviously the fans want to be there too, right?
Yeah, it affects track owners, it affects the fans, it affects TV viewers, it affects all that stuff.
Well, even people, maybe that's their vacation for the year. They want to go to the race. And now they're obviously, we have to follow the orders and we have to respect that, but at the same time it you can say it sucks.
Yeah. This weekend we would have been at TTMP, I'm pretty sure, right?
I think it would have been the following weekend. So that's partially why I'm doing this episode as well, is because I would have done a special anyways, so I got to do something. But so that's the state of the shutdown, and we're seeing things come back this weekend when we're recording it here. I don't know when exactly this will air. Hopefully by next weekend, but who knows. But yeah, I mean, we gotta definitely keep our eye open on what they do this weekend, and see. Like, I don't know. You've heard of a couple things. They're gonna have essential crew. They're gonna have other.
I think they're having like they have like I think I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they have like a
Quote him on it. No.
Like an engine technician for each team, obviously, right? So I think from what I read, is they're going to be sharing that in like the chassis and engine technician, so to speak, for each team. That's
Oh wow.
And so I mean they're just trying to eliminate as many people as they can,
Right.
which is unfortunate, but.
And then obviously the team celebrations, they were told that no high-fiving, no hugging and stuff like that in victory lane. I don't even know if there's going to be anyone in victory lane.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like, I think they might, they might do a burnout for TV, and they might just drive that car back to the hauler, and then that's it.
Right.
And they're not doing any practice or qualifying. The first laps are going to be the green flag, right?
I believe so.
That's going to be crazy at Darlington.
That's going to be, especially, think about this, like Ryan Newman and Matt Kenseth.
Yeah.
We can open that bag of worms too later if you want, but it's going to be a little bit old school kind of type thing. Like, these guys are kind of just unloading with what they got and then just go for it.
And in all fairness, during the last few weeks, obviously, with the iRacing Pro Invitational Challenge, that kept people on their toes. It wasn't necessarily obviously the training they probably needed or whatever, but it definitely, like, all the drivers were in a routine. They were all almost together basically on the same time every weekend, so they were trying to keep in somewhat of a bit of a routine.
And that's another thing too. I'll be honest, I didn't watch all of the invitational races.
I know you did.
Okay. So they did a good job though. Like that's looking out for the fans of the sport. Like they're trying to do what they can. Like basketball can't do that. Like, and football can't do that. I mean, they can play like Madden or NBA 2K or something, but like this is like a simulation type
right
thing. And then they tried their best to try to compensate for what they couldn't do. And it's, hats off to them for trying to provide some entertainment for people that are stuck at home. And
there was some good races too, and it got me more involved with our esports team. The Waterloo Motorsports has a esport team. I at least race. Unfortunately, your computer hates you, so you're not able to partake. But it is fun, and it's a good time. And then you actually do learn how like a track would feel. But we're also looking into a weekend where people are potentially wanting to see something. There's a lot of people out there who do want to see sports start up again. Maybe this will turn them on to NASCAR. Maybe when they're flipping through the channels, they'll see something on that's live, and they'll watch it.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. I feel like, you get tired of seeing the same, like Steph Curry jump shots from last year or whatever. Something like that. It's something that's new. Like maybe this could be relevant to that 1979 Daytona race that they had. They had the fight.
Yeah, and there's a fight.
Yeah,
might be something relevant to that. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it would be pretty close, but also obviously we're gonna touch a little bit about on the haters, because I do feel as though it didn't help with the Kyle Larson deal a few weeks back. I think that there's going to be some extra. Obviously, there's always going to be haters, and there's always going to be people talking on crap on something, right? But
Yeah,
I think that's going to give some extra eyes this weekend.
yeah, and I mean, we all make mistakes. We all say things we don't
Moving on
mean.
to the Kyle Larson subject here, because I do feel like some of it does connect a lot to it, because that was in the middle of this pandemic with the season being suspended. And, obviously that didn't really help, and everyone, all the analysts and all the pros, the big guys have said, obviously it did it set the sport back a few years.
And and yeah, it really did. It doesn't make things look good. In my opinion, the guy made a mistake. The guy, I don't see him being like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but like I talked to him very shortly, not like a 10-minute conversation or anything like that, but he seemed like a nice guy. He cared about his fans, and he's signed autographs for me before, and I just don't see how he would. I mean, I think he didn't mean it as a he didn't mean it as in a bad way, but he did screw up. He shouldn't have said it.
And
He screwed up.
that's true. It wasn't. It obviously wasn't used in the way that it would usually be used in.
He shouldn't have said it. He really should.
But it shouldn't have been said. And iRacing, it being on iRacing as well, and it was in the middle of a bunch of people were already streaming it and on their Twitch, and I even believe it was being commentated by Alan Bestwick, and I think there was someone else on there, and obviously it was on the NASCAR.com website. Like, there was obviously eyes on that as well at the time. Yes, like, absolutely. and it obviously it didn't take too long. It was nowadays with social media, that was instant.
Oh yeah, no, it was, and social media is such it's the angel and the devil of life right now. It's the good and the bad, and pretty much the ugly. That's basically what it is. Yeah.
But it's with the Kyle Larson deal now, it's looking like he was cleared with the sensitivity training, and now it is looking like he asked the World of Outlaws, I believe, for reinstatement, but he hasn't asked NASCAR yet. Me personally, I don't think he's going to come back. No.
Just from his own personal, like, he doesn't need NASCAR. He's perfectly content driving, dirt cars or, World of Outlaws and sprint cars and stuff like that. If he comes back, I will be surely surprised, like, if he wants to come back. But I think he's perfectly content going across the country and racing dirt. That's my opinion.
And that's fine. You got to respect a guy for that, and you can't criticize that. And obviously he's going to learn from it too, right?
That's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, Kyle Larson, obviously he had to vacate the number 42, and Matt Kenseth. Everyone thought maybe it would have been someone else. There's obviously other names that were thrown in there. Who I believe was it Chastain? Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards almost considered it too.
I would have bet money in Vegas that they would have put Ross Chastain in that ride.
That's what everyone thought was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did not even expect Matt Kenseth to be anywhere near that conversation.
Kenseth and Kurt Busch on the same team. Again, yeah.
Again,
yep. Back in the Roush days, yep. Back in the 2000s, yep.
And
I would have never expected Matt Kenseth to be in that ride.
And Kenseth,
anybody else.
I believe he was on the Dale Jr. download. I'll have to obviously check that out. But he's coming into this. I read a quote, and he said he's feeling like this is like his rookie year all over again.
Well, other than the Busch series, I think he never run a Chevy, but like he's been out of it for 2 years, right? So I mean, things have changed since then. Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be a lot of eyes on him. So there's going to be definitely a lot of people watching him.
And obviously with Ryan Newman returning as well.
Yep. It's good to see him back. I'm not. I'm not surprised. I kind of figured this would happen because of
with all
this
this time
pandemic.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good. He's going to be back in number 6
And I
car.
think
But
they've both been given the go for running for the cup or for the
mhm.
chase or something like that. So
Yeah, they've got
Yep.
waivers.
If they
so
win or get in by points, then they're eligible for the chase or the playoffs. Excuse me.
and that's a lot of
Um,
old school fans right there. You
yeah.
got
Well,
Kenseth fans, you got Newman fans going, okay.
those are like the last frontier guys. Like there's Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth. Like
The
that's what it's
last of
about.
the young guns of the late
Yeah,
90s, early
like the
2000s.
Gillette Young Guns
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah, they're not so young nowadays, but I mean they're still there. But it's gonna
Yeah,
be good to see the old guys coming back and
at Darlington, and I
Darlington.
wonder if
Yeah,
someone's going to throw on a throwback rap just for fun or whatever. I don't
it'd be
know.
nice. They're probably not gonna go. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like,
Yeah.
are they gonna are they gonna run in September or whatever it is?
I'm
Whatever
pretty
date
sure
it
the
is?
throwback race is still on schedule for then, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just who knows? Like everything's crazy. Just the whole schedule got messed up. Like, are we going to go back to Homestead or something like it's crazy. It's up in the air. Like it's going to be an impromptu thing in my opinion. That's the way I look at it. Kind of, they're going to try to keep the dates they can, obviously, when things open up, but. It's definitely a different time, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, everything is speculation almost, and that's why I would like to speak with people directly involved with the racing business, because at least for on the NASCAR side of things, it's almost like every day I'm reading something obviously about the NBA coming back or the MLB coming back, but you're not necessarily reading so much about. I don't see anything from the drivers that are kind of like inside news or anything like that. So maybe they're obviously told to keep their mouth shut, but
I mean, you don't want to be that guy that
yeah.
says something and then it turns out to be something else. So I think they're just kind of playing it.
That's why, like, even just I want to say right now, just as a disclaimer, almost everything here, we're just speculating. We're not coming from any official source, and that's kind of why I'd like to reach out to those official sources to see if they know or what their stance is on things. And that's why it's good to have communication and whatnot like this and discussion in these hard times, because there's a lot of misleading stuff out there, and there's a lot of bias, I think, really biased opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, this is a motorsports podcast, not a
I don't want to get
political observation podcast, but
okay,
yeah.
we're gonna avoid that. So,
But I think, it's fair to say it's easy to be down the middle, at least. Give everything a nice, good, well thought out sort of thing.
happy meeting the sports, right? At least you'd hope so, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so obviously all the talk, we can talk about whatever that happened the last couple months, but we should talk about what happened this weekend and what's going to go down. I think, I don't know. I'd like to make predictions.
I think it's going to be unique. It's going to be really unique because we've had this time off, right? I'm sure these guys. I know these guys getting like a trend of they get in the swing of things. With this time off, maybe they come up with some new quote unquote equations with different setups or something like that. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be really interesting. I really do. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be like a throwback to kind of just unloading your car and just going. That's my opinion.
That's what I think is going to happen, because I don't know if there was any official meetings at any race shops or anything like that, other than maybe they're holding online conferences or sharing emails. I don't know. Obviously, there was some sort of,
No, I'm sure. I mean, if
planning,
if you're not, video chatting with your team or whatever, talking about, okay, well, what if we go here next week when we get lifted from this ban or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they thought about all that stuff. and I'm sure there's brainstorming, and I think there's going to be some teams that do some new things. They're going to try some things, and it's going to be the unknown. But in my opinion, I think you're going to see the same guys right at the top.
The cream will rise to the top, so to say.
As a fan, I kind of want to see, like, I mean, you're not going to see those low budget teams show up and win the race, but you might see that surprise winner, like, you know, like Willie Byron, or, I mean, who knows? Maybe Matt Kins can do something. Maybe he can get a top 5. Who knows?
Everything's going to be randomized, because I would like to make predictions, but because the qualifying, you know, it's going to be randomized, and pit stops are going to be a little different, so pit strategy is going to be thought of differently, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they have to pit. They can have the option to pit twice. I read something about that.
I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you.
Peter, pull that up.
What? I don't know what's gonna. Are they doing live pit stops?
No, I'm pretty sure I did read that though. They're gonna have a couple of different opportunities during yellow flags and whatnot. They're gonna have a competition yellow at lap 30, or they're gonna or at 50 or something like that. It's all gonna be set up.
There's gonna be a caution before then.
I praise them for doing something different, because if they wanted to be lazy, they could have said, okay, well, the field's gonna be set up for owner points.
Yeah, random draw.
Random draws, it's unpredictable.
Who knows? Kenseth could be tossed in the top 10, and obviously he's got some experience at Darlington, and he's probably had, you know, obviously he's probably had some good races there, but
it's going to be a good race. Like, I mean, it really is. Like, NASCAR is getting national attention for being this first sport to come back. You're going to have people want to tune in and see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
You want to see how they're going to operate. I just think it's a good opportunity for NASCAR to, what's the word I'm looking for? Excel, or somewhat provide. It's gonna provide entertainment regardless.
But
there's nothing else going on.
Are you going with the Kenseth though?
No, I'm not going with Kenseth. If you want me to be honest, I'm going to go with, you know, you're gonna call me biased on this, but I'm going with Kyle Busch, man. I just
interesting.
I think he'll be. He'll be the winner.
That's
my opinion.
He did keep up pretty good in the iRacing challenge, and he was pretty. I know, again, you know, it's a simulator. It's not real life, but it is real racing, and he was practicing that racing muscle, you know, for the last couple months.
Yeah. I mean, that helps, but you know, like I like William Byron,
and he
won 3 races,
that,
but
so.
He hasn't won a race. He hasn't won a cup race, so I mean,
right.
It's like, I mean,
I don't think he'll win.
I mean, I doubt it. I mean, it'd be cool if he did, but like, in my opinion, I feel like Kyle Busch would be the guy to do it, because he's good at Darlington. I mean, you can never, you know.
I like the Pepe's point here. There could be a caution before
I think
competition.
It's inevitable, because these guys haven't raced in over 2 months.
So when there's a big one, and Kyle Busch, you know, or whoever we have predicted.
And I think there's going to be chaos on pit road too if there's live pit stops. These guys haven't done pit stops in a while too, and it's Darlington.
Exactly. I think you for instance,
see crazy penalties.
If you work for 2 weeks and then you have a week off, like, you're not going to be the same the first day that you were in the middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? I can speak for that.
You could be, you know, then you might have one of those guys that are like, it's like, what the hell? Why is he like, you know, why is he working like he didn't miss a day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the drivers too, because like Denny Hamlin, I'd pick him to win, but how he is on pit stops, and he's done it at Darlington multiple times, I don't think it's going to work out good. So my prediction is Brad Keselowski's going to win.
I mean, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with any of those.
He probably needs. Has Penske? What did Keselowski win already this season?
No, Logano did.
Logano, right? I knew what Penske
Vegas,
car was.
Yep.
And that was almost already like, it's 2 months ago, right? Like, Jeez.
It was like 3 months ago. It was in February.
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of February. I was there.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know about because I think anyone I'd pick is gonna get wrecked out because there's it's gonna be it's gonna be very raw this weekend, and that's what makes good TV.
Hmm.
It really does.
It's the unpredictability.
I would probably pick a Toyota guy being realistic. I think maybe a Hamlin or something like that would be up there, but we'll see.
Probably probably a Joe Gibbs guy. Like if I'm going to be broad
Toyota.
or something like that, it's going to be a Joe Gibbs guy or something. But I'm picking Kyle Busch. That's my opinion.
Really interesting to see. And then not only on Sunday, like these guys got 2 more days to do it all again.
Hmm.
I think it's a little less the length of the race.
It's 300, I think. Right?
It's a little bit less laps. Yeah, it's a little condensed.
I'm looking forward to that one because a midweek primetime race, that's going to be
that's
interesting.
another let's talk about that. As we were talking about NASCAR kind of doing new things.
NASCAR was always talking about having a midweek race.
And now they're doing it.
And now they have to do it. I mean, they're doing it.
Well,
they have to. They're doing it.
There's probably a bit of have to as well, just because they probably want to squish as much as they can. But
yeah, I mean, it's a good little test for NASCAR to do what they're doing right now. It really is.
In that Wednesday race, do you think the same people on the Sunday would it be basically just the same thing, or will it be a completely different situation?
What would be kind of cool is if they did. I mean, they're doing a day race obviously for Sunday, right? So if they did a night race for Wednesday, I think it'd be different.
Yeah.
I don't know the time frame for Wednesday's race, but if they did it at a different time, because they have lights at Darlington, obviously. But I think that'd be kind of a curveball, so to speak, for different guys. But if they did do a day race, I think you're probably going to see the same guys show up and perform like they did the day, the Sunday before.
Yeah,
that's my opinion, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And then what's the race for the next weekend?
It's the Coke 600.
Yep, it's Charlotte. Yep.
And they get qualifying for that weekend.
Yeah. But still, though, all that racing and just to make a prediction, I think maybe for that Sunday race it'll be a little easier to predict once everything's going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who. Again, I'd probably pick another Joe Gibbs guy, just being realistic.
Yeah.
I think Hendrick might come out strong. I don't know.
Hendrick was strong during the regular normal season, so I mean, I definitely, I'm not going to complain if Hendrick is going to be strong. So, but
and then Jimmy will have something to prove as well, because he basically said he's not coming back. This is it. He reconfirmed that his stance on that. So,
yep. And there's speculation that he'd come back for next year because of this pandemic that's going on, but it's kind of rain on his parade, so to speak.
Yeah,
with
that
this
sucks.
Stuff going on.
It totally sucks. And for obviously as a Johnson fan, I wish it was not this.
Because he's definitely top 3 greatest drivers of all time in NASCAR for sure.
You would want to see someone retiring have. It doesn't even almost matter who. It could be any driver who's in their final year. You don't want to see them have a season that's kind of been affected, whether they have to postpone races or yeah. And who wants to ever predict something like that coming? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate.
Why couldn't this happen when Kyle Busch wins championships? No,
hey, you're being biased right now. You're not supposed to do that.
Screw that. This is we might as well, because why not, right? Everyone else is.
I think I don't know. We'll see, but it's going to be very
a good race.
Interesting.
Good race.
Yeah, I'd love to have our followers give us some predictions as well. Our social media page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube I believe we'll probably be able to hop on Twitch soon. We'll do our own videos on there, but you and I are on Twitch, so we're doing stuff on there.
Yes.
And, you can check us out. The show's page at the WWOMS, and you can also check out Joe. What's your Twitch? What's your social?
It would be Slayer Misfit.
Slayer Misfit on the social media, or on Xbox and Twitch at least. I don't know about your Twitter and your Facebook handles, but your Insta or whatever.
But everything's probably Joe Meinerich. So
there you go. And obviously we have.
Not too many people have the Meinerich name, so
it should be easy to.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have the Pepe here. Check him out as well. It was good to have some interesting discussion here. It's been a couple of months, and I think it's good to talk.
It's time to play ball. Let's do it. It's time for NASCAR. Let's do it.
Hey there, thank you for watching our video. Make sure you head on over to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at the WWOMS.